Hello all, I'm Sai and welcome back to my Navarathri video series in which I'm recommending 9 books on Hinduism on these 9 days. The previous days videos are linked down in the description. You can go forward and check them out. Today is day 4 and in Navarathri from day 4 to day 6 we worship Goddess Lakshmi, and since this is the first day of the worship, I wanted to select a book that is of the goddess herself, which is The Legend of the Goddess Invoking Sri Suktam by Om Swami. Before I start talking about this book, I have a very tiny little story to share with you guys. I have been getting back to and chanting the Sri Suktam for over a month now. I learned it as a child, but because of the lack of practice, I just completely forgot the verses completely from my mind. Out of nowhere, just a month back, I got this urge to go forward and learn it again, and I learned it. I learned it on my own, okay, just by watching YouTube videos and chanting with the book. And this book has been in my radar for over 6 months now. I've been wanting to read it, but I did not know that it had anything to do with Sri Suktam. But I had decided that this book will be one of those which I'll be recommending for this Navarathri video series. So I went forward and ordered the book. Only when I ordered it on Amazon, I saw that this book tells the legend of the goddess by invoking Sri Suktam and the verses in it. So in a way, it felt like I was getting ready to talk about this book by making myself able to chant the Sri Suktam even before I went forward and read it. In that way, it just felt like a really good divine timing. Having said that, let's just get into the video right away. So in this book, The Legend of the Goddess Invoking Sri Suktam, we see the various different stories in the Hindu Puranas which involve Goddess Lakshmi and all of her history and stories put together. The book actually starts with the Samudra Manthan, in which the Devas and Asuras go forward and churn the ocean of milk, and out of which comes a lot of prized possessions. Along with all those possessions, there is also this divine goddess who is Lakshmi, the personification of wealth, prosperity and opulence, who also emerges. When Goddess Lakshmi appears out of the ocean of milk and decides to be the consort of God Vishnu, the Sri Suktam starts getting its form. The best part that I liked about the book is the author's writing, because he has a beautiful writing style. Trust me, if you're someone who worships any goddess in any way, just go forward and read this book. You'll be able to feel the divinity of the goddess as you read the book, because the author has written it in such a beautiful way. You can see the tales and the history just unfolding in front of your eyes as the author narrates the story to you. I can say that the whole time I was reading this book, I was completely in a different zone. Okay, I was not feeling like I was just reading a book. It felt like I was seeing those happenings in front of my eyes, and I could feel those vibrations inside me. It was really good, calming and grounding for me. So I said that this book deals with the story of Goddess Lakshmi, right? But the way in which the author goes forward and narrates Lakshmi's story to us here is through the Sri Suktam. Now, the Sri Suktam is a composition of 16 verses placed one after the other, and all these verses together form the entire composition, which is Sri Suktam. And the very important and different thing about the Sri Suktam is that it is not a composition of verses that was done all together at a single time by one single rishi or god. The Sri Suktam is so powerful that it could not just be created by one person. There are multiple gods and multiple rishis who are involved in the composition of the Sri Suktam, and it was also not something which got created within a brief period of time. Now, the Sri Suktam has different verses, as I said before, 16 verses, and all these 16 verses were created one after the other over thousands of years in time. This is because each and every verse inside the Sri Suktam, though easy to pronounce, is very potent, and when recited with the proper intention, can give the exact results what the person who's chanting it is expecting to get. More than that, I can say that just reciting these 16 verses itself just calms you down and gives you all kinds of prosperity. And I think for all of us, compared to all other kinds of wealth, peace of mind and just being able to be yourself in the zone is the highest form of wealth. And every time I have chanted this, I can assuredly say that I felt that sense of calmness and serenity inside me. Another very different thing about this book and the Sri Suktam itself is that even though there are 16 verses which are chanted in a particular order, all these 16 verses were not created in that particular order itself. Different verses were composed in different periods of time, and all of them were lined together to form the Sri Suktam itself. It talks about the glory of Goddess Lakshmi and what all she can give us if we surrender to her. It's a really amazing composition, and trust me, I'm not going to reveal the story of how it was composed to you guys, because I think everyone needs to go forward, read this book and experience it for themselves, because it was such an amazing experience for me. I'm not able to put it into proper words. Another reason why I'm not trying to explain the entire story to you guys is because each and every verse was composed by a different rishi or different god, right? And these different rishis and gods also include the goddess Lakshmi herself, Lord Vishnu, their sons Kadama and Ciklita, some rishis like Vyasa, and so many more. It happens over thousands of years in time, and it is not at all a linear composition. As you see each and every verse being narrated to you and explained to you through words, it is spellbinding to see how much meaning each and every verse contains and how much meaning each and every one of these can have as ripple effects in our own life. The author goes forward and explains each and and every one of the 16 verses with their literal meaning as well as their philosophical and esoteric meaning during the beginning of each and every chapter and also towards the end of the book, like kind of a summary. And I can say that before you go forward and read the entire book, just turn to the back side and read the literal meaning as well as the esoteric meaning of the 16 verses and then start reading the book for yourself, because I read it the other way around in which it was written, and I feel like if I had read those 16 verses, their literal meaning and their esoteric meaning, and then gone forward and started reading the tale, it would have been an even more fulfilling experience for me. I don't have any complaints at all, okay? But I'm just trying to make that experience even better for you guys because I have experienced it while reading this book. Another great thing, it is a tiny book. If you just sit down and start reading it during an afternoon, you'll be done with it by puja time in the evening. And just imagine knowing the meanings of the words that you're going to chant. When you start chanting it, will be amazing in so many different levels. Compared to all of these other things, there is one revelation which I got from this book which I did not know. Even though I have learned the Sri Suktam and have been reciting it for a few months now, even though I have learned the Sri Suktam and have been chanting it for a few weeks now, and it is that the Sri Suktam is basically the sound form of the goddess who is Lakshmi herself. This literally means that if you sit down and chant or recite the Sri Suktam, it means that you are literally invoking Lakshmi in your place, and with her you will get all kinds of wealth in abundance. Wealth is not just materialistic wealth, but also all other different kinds of wealth like peace of mind, good morality, intelligence that you require, wisdom that can be learned only through experience, and so much more. There's also the small sadhana which the author has said towards the ending of the book, which involves chanting the Sri Suktam for 16 nights, starting from the night of Diwali. Once Navarathri is over, we'll be having Diwali in just 2 weeks time. So that's more than enough time to go forward and learn the entire Sri Suktam for yourself. I'm going to try and do this sadhana starting from Diwali night for 16 nights. And I hope some people who watch this video also go forward and read it for themselves, learn it for themselves, and also try to do the sadhana. I'm sure about what all different kinds of wealth that the books talk about. I'm not saying that I've gotten all the different kinds of wealth and opulence that the book talks about while invoking the Sri Suktam, but I can assure you that it will definitely give you a great peace of mind. Every time I've chanted it, I have observed that my mind just quietens out. It does not give any kind of negative self-talk. It doesn't try to pull me down. And sometimes it just feels like the mind has shut up. And trust me, that's a great thing to experience. With that, I want to end today's video in which I have recommended The Legend of the Goddess Invoking Sri Suktam by Om Swami. I hope you guys will go forward and read this book. It's not big, it will not take much of your time, but the amount of knowledge and serenity that you'll acquire from it will be infinite. And I hope you like this recommendation in this video. I'll see you again tomorrow with the next book. So if you did enjoy watching today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel.